Hey guys, this is Monami Frost and today I will talk about my armpit tattoos. I have completely forgotten to talk about my armpit tattoos. I have probably done a video about pretty much all of my parts of my body, about my tattoos on the parts of my body and talk about them and show them off and what it is and stuff like that. But I haven't mentioned my armpit tattoos and a lot of people have been asking me about them, so I thought I should just film a video, obviously, so I could address this to you all and talk about them. I have some flowers on my head because I have some flowers on my armpits. In my armpits, strong. So the first armpit tattoo I did was, I think, about 3 years ago maybe, and this was on my black sleeve, this beautiful rose, which obviously my husband did for me. His canvases and everything I have is done by him. It's portrait of a rose and I love it so much. It's super beautiful and people tell me these random jokes about, ooh, your armpits must smell nice. Yeah, they do. And not just because of my roses, but because of that too, maybe. Anyway, jokes aside, but my rose armpit tattoo is amazing. And actually in my other armpit I have a rose too, but it is a lot bigger than the other one. As you can see, you can clearly see the rose all inside the armpit here, but can't really see it here. But I love that it is so big. I just wanted to fill the space up as much as I could, and let's face it, roses are amazing and they fit so beautifully in the armpit. Originally I thought I was gonna get like symmetrical, both the same roses, like I get a lot of stuff symmetrical, I like it. But then I figured that I really want like a, which one is it? Which one? A big rose. So this kind of goes far back on my back kind of slightly. And as well, it's a portrait of a rose and it's black and gray. And my husband constantly keeps telling me that we need to touch them up and do some more, a little bit more detail, add more highlight and stuff like that. He just tells me that all the time about all my tattoos, because for him, constantly seeing my tattoos and him getting better at his work, he wants to like make my tattoos even better because they are kind of old and stuff like that. But no, they're still amazing and I love them. Probably I will touch them up at some point when I'm gonna run out of space. I will slowly start reworking and touching up my tattoos, but I don't really think they really need that. It's just because my husband wants to do it and just kind of polish them up. The first one, like I said, I got like 3 years ago, and the other one I think I just got maybe a year ago. I don't know, like constantly forget about time and when did anything happen. And let's face it, I don't have time to look this up. I just want to film a video for you guys, and it pretty much was a year ago. Yeah. And obviously probably everybody is wondering about the pain, and I was wondering too before I got my first armpit tattoo, and I was thinking, oh my god, this is gonna kill. It's like such a gentle area and like kind of ticklish and everything all together, and like the skin is so thin like around there. I thought it's gonna be so bad, but actually it wasn't that bad. I think this tattoo took about 3 hours, I would say. It wasn't actually that painful. All it was really ticklish. I was constantly kind of like, I don't want to like move, but it really like tickles. Oh god, when I smile, my bags under my eyes look so bad. Do I look tired? It fades really beautifully into my black arm. I really love it. Like I said, it wasn't that painful. It was really ticklish, and it was kind of, the pain was sharp. So if I would have to rate the pain level, it would be 5, I think. It wasn't that bad. It was, obviously, everything always hurts. Like, all tattoos hurt. And which brings us to my other armpit, which actually was a lot more painful than the other armpit. And it's probably because it was twice as big, and it would kind of go a lot on this part, which is like like a muscle or something. It was kind of really annoying and like nerve-wracking, the pain and everything. If I would have to rate the pain scale level, I would say it was about 7. Sometimes it would be even like 6 or 5. It wasn't that crazy, but at some points it was like really bad when it went all around here. Ever since I got my sleeve done, I couldn't stop seeing the blank armpit grind in my gears so bad. Like every time I would like take a photo or something, I would lift my arms, I would constantly see that empty space and I would just want to fill it. I just think it's a weird spot, like armpits. And actually one of the things that I personally like I am creeped out about is armpits and knees. I think they are super weird. Ever since I started getting tattoos, I always thought I need to fill up my armpits and my knees. One of my knees is done now, but my other one needs to get done. And when I will get them done, I will talk about them as well. Glad that I have my armpits filled in. Here's a close-up of my armpit. And the other one. Flowers fit so beautifully in armpits. I remember at some point I really didn't want to get any rose tattoos because I thought like, oh, everybody just gets roses. And now I know why. Like, so ridiculous of me, but yeah. In my armpit, that was one of the first roses I had, and since then I just love them. Roses look amazing. I think everybody should get a rose because it just looks so beautiful as a tattoo. It's cliche, but it's so beautiful. And I'm so happy with my roses.
For justice.
I guess this was a quickie. Let me know, maybe I should do like a video about all my tattoos and just like a Q&A about tattoos, what you want to know. Because obviously you're not gonna have a lot of questions just about like armpit tattoos or like just about like some arm tattoos or something. Maybe stay tuned for that and let me know, should I make that video? As always, let me know if you have an armpit tattoo and how was your experience getting it? Was it painful? Let me know in a comment section below. I really like reading all about your experiences, about everything I talk about and stuff like that. If we have something in common, that is super cool, that there's like someone that has like a similar situation to me and similar thoughts. That's super cool. I love you guys so much. So let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Let me think. For justice.
Hey guys, today we are at Baldur's Brass and we are starting my back piece. Today's the first session for it. I have no idea how many sessions it's gonna take and how long I will gonna sit today for. I really hope I'm gonna be able to sit for as long as possible. So yeah, we're starting my back piece finally. It has been ages since we have been wanting to do it, and today is New Year's Eve, and that is how we are spending our New Year's. Getting tattooed the best way you can. So we are about to start soon. I'm gonna get my stencil on soon. I kind of thought I should take you with me on this awesome journey of me getting my back piece done and film it all through the process and stuff. I'm excited. This artwork is inspired by Ruben Ireland artwork. I love it. was like really terrible and like nerve-wracking, all the pain and stuff. But at one point I was like tripping. It was like so easy. I was falling asleep constantly. I have no idea how did that happen, but anyway, it was really good. It is almost 1 week later. A couple of days I still have got loads of scabs on my first session piece done. So anyway, I am going to get my next session now done. I don't know how much am I gonna make it, but I don't have too much time anyway, so it's not gonna be too long. Slowly getting there. Awesome. Can't wait to show it to you.
Good day, everyone. Blarg here with a short recap of what was bouncing around on Twitter last night. This episode involves Social Repose and his ex-girlfriend, Ayala. To summarize, we happened to capture a live broadcast, a couple of weeks back, of Ayala explaining a bit about her relationship with Richie, or rather Social Repose.
I had no reason to continue to have that kind of negative influence on my life.
Are you listening?
It seems that word of this record
Mind if I roll me? Bathe in flame. Hey, dip that!
The end is coming! Hey, speak to me.
Welcome to the Grand Tournament, champion.
So by then my tattoos emergency need to be so I can show you visuals and stuff and make use myself as an example for most of these. And this video is how I heal my tattoos. I get a lot of questions like, how are your tattoos so bright, blah blah blah, and I'm going to make a different video about how I keep my tattoos bright after they're healed, but this is all about healing my tattoos. So as most of you know, yesterday I was tattooed at Ceremony Tattoo by Derek Hooper. He is out of Nashville and he was visiting Philadelphia and I had to get a tattoo by him. He has been on my tattoo most wanted list and I got tattooed behind my knee. Now, the way I heal my tattoos has been something sacred to me for years and years and years. And if you use a different method that works for you amazing, and I encourage you to stick to a method that works for you. And I also encourage you to stick to your tattoo artist's advice and everything like that. But as you get more tattooed, usually your tattoo artist like figure that you have it all down packed, and they don't normally recommend their own healing methods. So this is just my self-derived healing method that I use on me, and I will show examples of how I heal my first 3 days of tattooing. So when I get home from my tattoo, the first thing I do is wash it. And normally for me, it has been 5 hours or so since I have been tattooed. Most of my tattoos I get in New York, and then it's 2 hours walking around, 2 hours travel home, and then like a half hour to get to my home. So by then my tattoos emergency need to be washed. What I do is I use a mixture of Dr. Bronner's liquid soap diluted with water in a large container, and I can show how I do that. And I just mix 1/3 concentrate of the solution with 1/3 water, and I shake them together. That way I have a nice diluted soap that will work for my skin and is not too abrasive. And when I get home, I will take the bandages off and put them in a safe trash container. These bandages do contain blood plasma, and they can be sensitive to just put in your family trash can. So I'll usually just put them in a grocery bag, tie the grocery bag up, and then put them in the trash.
Victory.
Putting those in the trash, and then I will wash my hands. Well, wash your hands first. Wash your hands, take off your bandages, and then go in the shower and wash your tattoo. You will experience your tattoo feeling slimy. Continue to wash it and rinse until the slimy plasma is no longer there. Then I will wrap my tattoo, and I have plenty of footage of me wrapping it. So I will begin the wrapping process by getting tape, cellophane, and paper towels. And when I wrap the paper towels, I will use the inside of the paper towel that does not have the print. I feel like the part of the paper towel that sits on the roll is the cleanest part and has not been exposed to being, you know, in your drawer or whatever. So I will turn the paper towel inside out, and that is the part of the paper towel that sits on my skin. Getting a band of the paper towel that will cover the base of your tattoo. This paper towel works to absorb all of the blood and plasma and ink that may be sweated out and excreted during the night. I wrap my tattoos before I go to sleep. I do like clean bedding on my clean bedding after I get tattooed, just to make sure that nothing can come into my tattoo and upset it. But I do wrap my tattoo regardless. Wrapping it before you go to sleep. Covering the tattoo in saran wrap, starting at the base that we created with the paper towel, and wrapping around the area until it's completely secure. You don't normally need tape if you are wrapping with cling wrap over and over and over again. I have a roll specifically for tattooing. It is my tattoo cling wrap. It is not for sandwiches. It is not kept in the kitchen. It is only for tattoos. And I keep it with my tattoo paper towels and tattoo tape. If you have medical grade tape around your house, that's probably great too. I have Scotch tape left over from like Christmas, so that's what I use. So getting out your specially tattooed items that are special for you, not kept in the kitchen, not for sandwiches. Use all that cling wrap, use it as much as you want. Enough cling wrap should keep your tattoo nice and secure without the use of tape. Then I will normally get into comfortable clothes very carefully. Clean, comfortable clothes. And I recommend this because I feel like it is just another way to keep the bandages on you, especially while you're asleep. And if you sleep with your partner, if you sleep with someone else in your bed, this is just another guarantee that your bandages won't come off in the night. You want it to stay clean and tight. In the morning, when you undress and get ready to clean off your tattoo, you're gonna notice that it is very wet and seems very soiled, and the saran wrap may be wet, the saran wrap may be soaked through, your paper towel may be soaked through. Wash your hands
and carefully remove all of your bandages. Again, put your bandages somewhere separate from the rest of your family trash because these are sensitive trash items. They are soaked with blood plasma and they should be kept with hazardous waste. Put them in a separate container, put them in a separate trash bag, all of their own, tie it up. You may notice that there is a print of your tattoo on the paper towel, and that is completely normal. That is all excess ink that is your body is pushing out. It does not need that ink. It is not an issue. All of your normal ink is still in the tattoo and it's healing beautifully. And again, you're gonna go through the same process of when you came home with your tattoo. You are gonna wash it in the shower with your diluted soap, and you're gonna wash it until it no longer feels slimy. After that, I like to either pat dry with inside out paper towels or let it dry on its own. I like to pat dry because I can press my hand against the tattoo and any additional ink can have the opportunity to wash it until it no longer ink is still in the tattoo and it's healing beautifully. And again, you're gonna go through the same process of when you came home with your tattoo. You are gonna wash it in the shower with your diluted soap, and you're gonna wash it until it no longer feels slimy. After that, I like to either pat dry with inside out paper towels or let it dry on its own. I like to pat dry because I can press my hand against the tattoo and any additional ink can have the opportunity to come out, usually just a little bit, and then I let it air dry. Personally, I like to wear very loose clothes the week or two that my tattoo is healing. Nice, easy fabrics, linen, very breathable. Having your tattoo exposed if you're comfortable with that, just so it's not touching anything. When I had my wrist tattoo, I kept bumping it. So I did put a little guard, like a little paper towel guard right here, just to act as a bumper as I was bumping it against everything, which I could just not control. When I get my legs tattooed, I have this pair of like linen parachute pants that I'll wear if I have to go outside, just so my tattoos are not exposed to the elements, and just so if anything embarrassing is happening, any excretion or anything like that, I know that people aren't looking at it and it's not upsetting anyone who may have a sensitivity to blood and things of that nature. Also, as a tattooed person, I like to destroy any stereotypes that tattoos are bleeding, that tattoos are painful, that tattoos are disgusting. So if I can keep them out of the eye of the public while they're healing and not looking perfect, then that's something I like to do. And you will continue to wrap, well, me personally, I continue to wrap my tattoos for the first 3 nights, including the night that you get the tattoo, so 3 days after that. On your 3rd day, you will notice that your tattoo isn't really excreting much plasma, much ink anymore. It's not really soaking through all of your wrappings. This is normally when I stop wrapping it. I believe you can continue to wrap it as much as you'd like, but after about the 3rd day, that's when I'll begin to heal my tattoo. And that is the first day that I will apply lotion. The lotion that I always recommend is as natural as you can get it. White, water-based lotion. You want to check the ingredients. You don't want fragrance and whatever other ingredients you are sensitive to. I like to either use Lush products that don't have fragrance, don't have dyes, or any Aveda lotions. These normally are scented, but the fragrance is naturally derived from the ingredients. It's not the word fragrance. If you're seeing the word fragrance, you do not want that. Also, I like to avoid products like H2Ocean, things with like a lot of salt in them. I have never had a good experience healing my tattoos with salt. This dries out the tattoo and it can cause flaking way too earlier than your tattoo is ready for, and that way you can lose a lot of ink and a lot of healing can begin too prematurely. Avoid stuff like that. You want a nice, white, soothing, calming lotion. I also like to get lotions that don't have wax, that don't have beeswax, things like that. These are things that will clump up and cling to your tattoo before it's ready to heal, and you don't want that. So finding a lotion that works for you, something basic, something chill. If you go to CVS, a lot of lotions that'll say like dermatologist recommended, things like that. All sensitive formulas are usually the first place to look. If you want to get a lotion, applying the lotion, you want to apply just a little bit just to saturate the tattoo. You don't want it to be like all globbing and rubbing in. You just want it to be something nice. Put a little dot and smear it to cover the tattoo completely. And I'll normally start that after the 3rd day. This will begin your healing process. Very quickly, you will see that your tattoo is beginning to peel and looks like it is scabbing. And it is very important not to pick the scabs. And if you're the type of person who like pops every pimple you get and picks every scar and everything like that, it's gonna be hard to resist picking at your tattoo. But it is very important that you leave it alone and protect it from being bumped and jostled around. Your tattoo will eventually flake, and that's completely normal. That absolutely has to happen, but let it flake on its own. Do not peel or help it or blow on it, like just leave it alone. When your tattoo begins to feel itchy, you know that you're on the final stages of it healing. My tattoos normally get almost a silvery like look to them, and that's when they start to really itch. And my best remedy is to put a pump lotion everywhere you go. Put it in the doorway, put it in the bathroom, put it near your phone charger. Putting lotion on every single time you remember, just to combat that itchiness. You do not want to scratch your tattoo. Do what you need to do, clip your fingernails short. Tapping is really big help for me. If I have a tattoo, I'll give it a couple smacks, and usually that'll sting it enough where it satiates the urge to scratch it. I've heard of people crumpling up paper and putting the paper over the tattoo. I still believe that that may irritate it, so just giving it a good smack usually helps me the best. During this time, you want to avoid being submerged in water, so no jacuzzi, hot tub, swimming, taking a long bath. Showers are fine, you can get your tattoo wet, and I recommend keeping your tattoo clean with soap and water, but not submerging yourself in an area where there could be bacteria growing, bacteria submerged, getting into the tattoo and infecting it. I believe that there are some myths with color tattoos versus black and white tattoos. Color tattoos are harder to heal, color tattoos hurt more, blah blah blah. I really think that it's all about personal care, and my black and gray tattoos heal the same longevity as my color tattoos, but I believe color tattoos are far more noticeable when they become damaged in the healing process. Best advice I've ever been given is heal your body and your tattoos will heal too. Fruits, vegetables, and a lot of water will yield the best results for you. Getting a lot of sleep, staying out of stress, staying out of a lot of activity. You don't want to go to the gym while your tattoos are healing. There's an increased risk for any sort of thing that could be transferred through touch, especially at the gym where bacteria and sweat is all hanging out. Avoiding the gym the first couple of days, things like that. Avoiding a lot of like touch activity, gym, baseball, sports. What I'm trying to say is sports. You want to have a lot of water, keep water in your hand, hydrate yourself, maybe multivitamins, but I say real life over synthetic all the time. Keep yourself in perfect health before your tattoo and after, and that will yield far better results for you with faster healing, I promise. And yeah, let me know how you heal your tattoos, what's recommended to you. I'm so into it. This has been my foolproof method for years and years, and I love every single one of my tattoos, and I think they've all healed very, very well, and I do attribute it all to the wrapping method of healing. dry the first 3 days. I do not introduce lotion into this method until the 3rd day. And yeah, let me know. This is part 3 of the public record series on my most common asked questions on my tattoos. Thank you so much. Tune in for episode 1 and 2 and let me know how you feel. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends who might be getting a tattoo or interested in learning new methods of healing. And thanks again, and bye! Hey everybody, it's Quicken, and this is a video that is going to be a part of a 3-part series all about common questions I get about tattooing that are super relevant to me right now as I just got a semi-large tattoo. And this first video in the series is what I like to bring to my tattoo appointment. So I'm just going to jump right in and I'm going to show a couple things that I like to bring to a tattoo appointment. And if you have any ideas or things that you like to bring too, please let me know. To your tattoo appointment, you need to have a good meal. You need to eat something. Most commonly, tattoo places will ask you what the last thing you ate was. And I always like to bring a bottle of water with me too. Just because different places, you might have to buy a bottle of water. There might not be water for you. There might not be a store close by. So I always like to bring a bottle of water. I do tend to get thirsty and nervous, so I'm happy to have one. And especially for me, when I travel to get a lot of my tattoos, so I'm most often in like travel mode and like tourist mode. So I always have a bottle of water and like a little snack. Sometimes I like to pack those like Uncrustables. They're like the little peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that are pressed together in the package. Those are great because they defrost, so if you know that you're not going to get to your appointment for like 3 hours, you know that you have a great snack just to have yourself prepared. Another thing I like to bring when I get tattoos is an extra pair of socks. And I know that might sound really weird, but for me it's always been super helpful. There have been times where I've gone to like a dollar store like across the street to like quick grab socks. And that's because when I'm getting tattooed like on my lower body, or if I have to lay on my stomach, I like to have clean socks on because I'll normally take my shoes off just so I won't damage any of the equipment of the tattoo artist, like their folding tables and things like that. I don't want to knock anything over with like sneakers or whatever. And because I usually have comfortable shoes on because I'm walking, I feel like maybe my feet are sweating or it's weird. So I always pack an extra pair of socks to change into, just so I have clean socks. If the artist needs to like manipulate my legs in any certain way, they can feel comfortable and clean touching my feet. Normally I've been bringing these like little slipper socks to my tattoo appointments because, I don't know, tattoo shop floors are usually cold or concrete and there's people walking all around. So if I have to walk on the floor, I like to have these like little sockies. And they're made of fleece, so I feel like my tattoo artist like really doesn't mind if they have to like move my leg or move my hand, or if they need to like rest their hand on the bottom of my foot for a minute. I think these are cool and they're cute, so I feel like they're not intimidating at all. I have extra socks in my bag anyway, and I have a bunch of these like ankle socks. That way I'm not wearing like really high socks and my ankle is still available if I'm getting a tattoo like on the lower half of my leg. And if anything is like bleeding or wet, usually these ankle socks don't have a problem. Another thing is if I am getting a tattoo somewhere on my upper half, I like to have clothing that is appropriate so the tattoo artist can still access that part of my body, but I can still feel like kind of shielded. And all of that could definitely be just like a shirt that you wear like forward with your arms through the sleeves. Just like little shorts, like little bike shorts. And then I also have this bathing suit top from American Apparel that like goes all the different ways, because you know how they have like tutorials on how to wear their clothes like 500 ways. So they have like, I think it goes like this. I don't know, it goes so many different ways. And I found this to be really helpful when I was getting like either side of my ribs tattooed, and also for my shark, just because like I'm really not demonstrating this well, but it's like that. I can wear this thing like so many freaking different ways that my tattoo artist can access right here. And having something like this just in my closet for just like tattoos has been really helpful to me. That way I'm covered up and this bathing suit can go a million different ways. So sports bras are okay, but I do recommend a bikini, especially one that can like do all the things. I got this at American Apparel like so many years ago, but I bet they still have this or something similar. So another thing I like to recommend is if you're a traveler like me and you travel to get your tattoos, when I leave, I like to have the tattoo I just got covered. And just because it keeps like the public eye off of your tattoo, oftentimes your bandages start to leak and maybe there's fluid coming out of your bandages and people will stop you, they will be very concerned or they'll be offensive. And like last time when I had my swimmer girl tattooed on me, my leg was like dripping. And I had to walk through Brooklyn to get to the train and 3 or 4 people, honey, are you okay? Honey, you're bleeding everywhere, honey. From now on, I'll usually pack an additional pair of clothes to change into. That way, if any of my clothes were damaged during the tattooing or they're a little too revealing, I will wear I have a maxi skirt that I like to wear. It's high-waisted and it drapes. That way it's like swinging back and forth. And I also have these like really thin linen pants, also offer like a lot of excess so I can breathe through them if my legs are tattooed. Same with my top. I can wear the bathing suit top and then like a very loose tank top. And I always like to bring like a flannel with me. That way it's nice and loose and I can like easily slide it over the bandages. And it's nice and soft, and if I'm going to get like a mega bus or something, you never know if that thing is Arctic, freezing cold, and it's just good to have this. And when I was tattooed at the tattoo convention, I had to lay on my stomach, and I felt like my butt was just out, and I was so happy I had a flannel to just like cover my like butt with, just so people walking by couldn't be like, ooh. So I always like to bring a flannel no matter what time of year it is. I always bring flannel. And one thing I want to talk about you should always bring to your tattoo appointment is cash. Straight cash money. Make your arrangements. I have a bank that charges me to use an ATM, and then the ATM will charge me. So I often face like double charges if I'm out in public and I need to run to the ATM. So I like to plan ahead. I will make sure I go to the bank earlier that week, take money out of wherever I need to, and that way I have cash. As a person who works in the service industry, cash tips are preferred, and I believe tattoo artists are the same way. It just shows your appreciation, and it's there, it's immediate. And unless you've worked out a previous arrangement with your tattoo artist, paying them in cash is often the best way too. That way that money goes right to them and there's no waiting or in between. Sometimes when you pay through PayPal, there are hidden fees, and if you pay through credit card, sometimes that money doesn't process for over 2 weeks. So I like to show my appreciation to my tattoo artist by paying them in straight cash. As for tipping, I like to bring my tattoo artists a gift as well as to give them a tip. And before, when I wanted to be tattooed but I didn't have a lot of money, I would always make my tattoo artist baked goods. Peanut butter Reese cup, that's the vegan version, is so easy to make. Cupcake, cookies, everything like that. I think that can speak really well, and they can share it with the people at the shop, or they can bring it home and do whatever they want with it. But I really like making baked goods to show my appreciation, or just like little things that may remind me of my tattoo artist. I think flowers are great, and I think that flowers are universal. If you're being tattooed by a man, I still think that like a nice little set of flowers on that station can like really bring them like a nice aesthetic feel. Or they hate flowers, I don't know. If you know something about your tattoo artist, I like to do a little bit of research, and bringing them a gift is usually something I like to do. I think it's like a little old-fashioned, but I also believe that tattooing has a lot of history and a lot of old-timiness to it, so I don't feel bad bringing a gift. I also like to tip well, and I'm like not really good at math, and I don't know all the tip tricks, and I don't have a tip app on my phone, but I like to tip like from my heart, I guess, and I like to tip what I believe is deserved. I like to go and like ahead of time kind of estimate what I believe the value of the tattoo is, and if I'm undercharged, I like to pay up to what I believe the tattoo is worth. I like tipping. I think tipping is standard and you should do it every time. And if you have questions about tipping, go do 15%, do 20%. I don't know any math. After high school, I stopped doing math. So I kind of tip from my heart, if that makes sense. I hope that's not like poopy, but that's what I like to do. A couple tips that I have learned in my life is if I'm getting tattooed on my arm, I try not to wear deodorant that day, just because deodorant has chemicals and that can interfere with the tattooing process. If you stink, then like I stink. Sometimes I'll put on like a natural deodorant and I'll let my tattoo artist know so they can wipe it off. And sometimes I'll do like powders and stuff on my body, especially if I'm walking really far, just to like counteract any sweating or whatever. Tell your tattoo artist so they can wipe it off. Don't take any drugs, don't drink anything beforehand, because you may react differently to the process, and your blood may react differently to the process. Be honest with your tattoo artist. I try to have a good meal and all of that stuff. I also wear sunscreen all the time, so just tell your tattoo artist like where you have sunscreen so they can just wipe it off for you. Sometimes I'll bring accessories. I'll bring my digital camera. Always bring a phone charger, especially if you're traveling. Just nicely ask your tattoo artist like, hey, I'm not from around here, so I could just zap my phone for a couple minutes before I leave. And they'll, why would they say no? Make sure that you know exactly where you're going. You get to your appointment early, but not too early, but you don't need to come 3 hours early. Like, get some lunch or something. Yeah, those are all my little things that I like to bring to tattoo appointments. Let me know what you like to bring and what you're into. And yeah, thanks for watching. This is the first video in a series of 3. And thank you so much. Subscribe, thumbs up, and bye. Avi, if you know how. Pulling up a new message. So this is where I get a lot of questions. And I'm gonna walk you through as if I was going to make an appointment with Jessie. So earlier this year, I had 2 tattoos by Jessie that I had done. And because I had to correspond with her through email, from a different country, I'm gonna show you some of the things that I did to help me out. First of all,
he just loves to sit on the printer. Hello YouTube, so this video is going to be all about how I heal my new tattoos. This is just what I've figured out that works for me and my body. I've always done generally the same thing, but I've finally gotten it down to a science, and I pride myself on the fact that I've been able to heal them so well. It's not like a rule book. There are definitely things you shouldn't do while your tattoo is healing. As always, you want to be going to an artist who really, it's happening right now. Stop licking your ass. Gross, dude. For part of this video, I'm going to be doing a voiceover and just showing you guys exactly how I did heal this. I actually filmed each, every couple days so that you can see the full cycle of a healing tattoo. It does peel, it can scab, and it can be kind of gross, but I mean, this tattoo wasn't that gross. Alright guys, so this is day 1 of the healing process. A tattoo typically takes about 10 to 14 days to fully heal, so I'm going to be showing you pretty much the whole process as the tattoo changes and goes through its healing process. So first I'm going to start by washing my tattoo. I will wash my tattoos when they're fresh, like once to twice a day. In the very beginning of the healing process, I will wash it twice a day, when I wake up and when I go to bed. And you want to make sure that you're using pretty comfortable like water. You know, you don't want to use too cold, too hot. You want to use a comfortable water temperature, and just make sure that you get it wet before applying soap. And here I'm just using some antibacterial non-scented dial soap. You want to make sure that you're using antibacterial non-scented soap, because any fragrance will burn and sting, and it does not feel good. I know this from personal experience, so trust me. You just want to make sure you're getting a nice lather there and getting it all really nice and clean. Any plasma or any other ink residue that's on the tattoo needs to get off of there. You want to be very gentle with your new tattoo, especially in the first few days, because it is very vulnerable. You can tell mine is like pretty swollen and red, and that's totally normal, but you just want to baby it for the time being. Then when you're done washing it, you want to take a clean paper towel and dry off your hands. Make sure you're not using a towel because the fabric in the towel can get into your tattoo, and that's gross. So paper towels are the way to go. You want to make sure that you're not wiping the water off of your tattoo. You just want to blot. So put it over your tattoo and apply some light pressure, and then just peel it off like that, and that gets the moisture off of your skin perfectly. You don't need to wipe and harm your tattoo any further. Perfect. Ta-da. Going in with Aquaphor. This stuff is great. You can find it in the baby aisle of any grocery store. I think this container is about $8, and it'll last you a really long time. And you just want to get like a really good dollop. I usually take way too much or way more than I need, but I will blot the excess off. I just always like to make sure that my tattoos are fully moisturized and aquaphored up. Yeah, you get it all over the tattoo, and then you can start really lightly massaging it into your skin, just getting it all over the tattoo, covering the whole surface area. A lot of tattoo artists prefer A&D versus Aquaphor. In my experience, A&D is really greasy. The formula usually stains my clothing, and I just don't like that it really doesn't stick to my skin as well as Aquaphor does. I feel like when I put Aquaphor on my skin, it actually stays in place. So that is why I do not use A&D, nor do I really like just the way it heals my tattoos. I prefer Aquaphor. Taking another clean paper towel, never been used, you just want to blot the excess shine. You see all of that Aquaphor on there that doesn't need to be there. It's too shiny, so you just want to take that and blot it. Apply some light pressure to get that excess off, and just peel it off. And you can see all that excess on the paper towel that does not need to be on your skin. If you put too much Aquaphor on your skin, it'll actually cause the ink to seep out. It pushes the ink out of the layers of your skin, so you want to make sure a light layer is applied. This is day 3 of the healing process. At this point, I stop using Aquaphor. I really only use it for the first couple days until it starts to show signs of peeling, which you can see in this at this phase in the tattoo. You can see it's at that point where it's kind of looking like it's a sunburn. It's like really stretchy, leathery looking skin, and that's totally normal, but that's when you know when it's about to peel. The lotion that I switched to after I'm done using the Aquaphor for the first couple days, I use Eucerin lotion, which is it's the same company that makes Aquaphor. And so yeah, you just want to put a little bit on your tattoo. I used way too much for this example, and I realized that because I think I wiped it off a little bit after filming this. But yeah, you just want to massage the lotion into the healing tattoo, and this kind of helps it just keep moisturized while it's going through its process. Then this is day 4. You can tell it's definitely a lot more peely and gross looking. This is usually when people notice that you have a new tattoo, and it's always really fun to be like, yeah, look at it, it looks like shit, because it's still fucking healing. And there's that one spot that's definitely scabby, and a little part on the shears that is going to scab. And then just continuing to rub that lotion in. And then this is day 7. This is a week after I got it. You can tell there's still quite a bit of skin that needs to fall off. You want to make sure that you never pick at your tattoos. You never need to peel that skin off, because that is going to make your tattoo fade a lot worse. It'll make lines disappear. It's just not a good idea. Like, why pay all this money just to pick your tattoo off? That makes no sense. So don't pick it off. And then as it gets further into the healing process, I can get a little bit rougher with it. When I massage the lotion in, I'll try to get as much of the skin off that I can. And this is day 10. We're pretty much healed at this point. You can tell there's a little scab right there in the shears. And there's really no other problems other than that. It's just like one little scab. And then this is the day 14. This is when it is completely healed and it looks great. And I'm really, really happy with this tattoo.
Falling out again. I was walking back upstairs when I heard my sister scream. Oh, it seemed a little louder than I'd planned. So
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Nate from the Style Dog. In this video, we're going to be doing a getting your first tattoo aftercare. Hey guys, so after posting my last video entitled Getting Your First Tattoo Survival Guide, I was blown away by the amount of comments and views about this particular topic. So what I thought I'd do is another video, but this time focusing on the aftercare. This video will be about my own experiences with what I did after I actually got my tattoo completed. So now that your tattoo is complete, there are a couple of things you're going to need to remember to make sure that your tattoo heals faster, heals properly, and kind of, you know, is the least amount of discomfort to